And so we're live.
Oh, yay. Hi, everyone.
Hey, guys. First of all, I'm sorry we're late. I was with a client, and then I had to stop. Anytime I'm in Austin for lunch, I have to stop at my fast food guilty pleasure,
What is it?
Bush's Fried Chicken.
Whoa, that is a guilty pleasure.
Well, but see, I do things that other people may not do. For me, it's all about the chicken gizzards. I love fried gizzards.
Oh, dude, that is so Southern. That's
Oh, yeah.
the most Southern thing I've ever heard you say.
Well, it would be even more southern if I ate the livers, but I don't. So it's all about the gizzards for me.
All about the gizzards. Okay.
That's right. Well, why don't you let everybody know what we're doing here for the 20th time?
For the 20th time. Oh my God, I can't believe it's our 20th episode of
pretty cool.
Drip. Episode number 20. Chris and I get together every Monday at 2:00-ish.
Give or take.
A few minutes, and we just chit chat about everything going on in Dripping Springs, places we've been, businesses that we love and adore. And we're both real estate agents, but we are also first and foremost community enthusiasts. So welcome to the Weekly Drip episode 20. Wow, that's a big number.
That is. That's like more than a dozen. That's a big number.
It's definitely more than a dozen.
Sorry. Oh,
math, like to high schoolers.
Yeah, right. So if you guys were around last week, you'll remember that Miss Ashley was not with us. She was feeling a little bit under the weather, and we were actually just talking about that. So tell us about how you were a lot under the weather.
Yeah, so it wasn't COVID. I feel like I have to start with that. I did not have the COVID. But on Thanksgiving, my ears started giving me a lot of trouble. They were just kind of messy. And then by end of day on Friday, they had both closed up and they were gunky. My face was swelling in front of my ears, behind my ears. Happy never miss a Monday. Yes, Shelly. Yes. I called telemedicine through my insurance provider and got started on an antibiotic, but I didn't sleep like the whole weekend. And it wasn't until Monday that I found relief. And that was in the form of acupuncture. I went and saw Dr. Michelle Went over at Indigo Healing and Acupuncture. And I think she might have been doing voodoo. I don't know.
All the best medicine is voodoo, or it seems like voodoo.
It was for sure some magic. And by Tuesday, one ear had opened up and I could hear again. Whenever I went in to see her, we were communicating with like a whiteboard. Because in times of COVID, if you can't hear, you're not reading lips because we're all covered up with our masks, right? So so we were communicating with a whiteboard Monday, but by Tuesday when I went back, I could actually hear her. Oh, Shelly, notice my mug. I have a whole collection of holiday mugs, and it's like one of my favorite things. This year's favorite is a his and hers reindeer. So when my husband and I have coffee, he has the boy version and I have the girl version. And I don't know if that's a notch into his man card or not, but they are adorable.
So going back to Dr. Went, my question is, I mean, was it acupuncture? Like, did she just poke a hole in your ear and it drain out? Or where was she sticking stuff?
She did not poke a hole in my ear so things would drain out. But I tell you what, on Sunday, I was praying that God would just kill me. And it was awful. Every time I moved my head while I was asleep, anything touching my face like a pillow woke me up out of a sleep immediately. It was sensitive. But she, for the children, she calls her needles whiskers. So for purposes of this conversation, I'll talk about the whiskers. We had some whiskers on my face, several in my legs and in my feet. And she knew like just exactly the right spot. And it was so funny. she pushed on this spot like near my knee, and I was like, ow. And she goes, oh, by the way, this is the direct path to your head. So if you have like allergies and congestion in your head, this is how we relieve it, this like weird spot by your knee. And man,
Okay.
it was time well spent. I've been seeing her for about a month now, and I feel so much better every time I go visit her. But this was like a true emergency, whatever you can do, even if it was jabbing something into my brain and ending it, that would have been fine.
Anything to get some relief.
Yes.
Shelley, boy reindeer have antlers. Come on. You know this.
Yes.
You know this. That's not difficult. Oh, all right. So acupuncture, and I've done acupuncture a couple of times, and mostly because my wife was doing acupuncture, and then ended up not using the remainder of her package.
Okay.
So I went, and this is years and years ago, somewhere in South Austin. I can't even remember where it was. There's an acupuncture cure or remedy for pretty much anything that ails you, I think. I mean, it's kind of like the ancient art of healing, I believe, is what it's about.
I think that's like a good case for like Eastern medicine versus Western medicine.
Yeah.
You know? So here in the States, I called my doctor, and what does my doctor tell me to do? We'll take an antibiotic. And
right.
That did it. I'm sure it's helping.
Yeah.
I'm definitely sure that's helping to be on an antibiotic, but for like instant relief, this Eastern medicine was definitely the way to go for me. And whenever I first started seeing Dr. Went, she explained to me that acupuncture was more cumulative than instant. So I'm bummed to hear that Erica didn't finish out like her chunk, because she might have saw more benefit.
Yeah, potentially. It's odd to me that it's cumulative. Interesting.
I think like for the things that we're trying to attack. And the way I started seeing her is in 2020, about midway through the year, I decided to very boldly claim, I'm going to feel as awesome as I possibly can. And I'm going to go see whoever I need to see and do whatever I need to do to feel awesome. That's like my only goal. So I'm carrying that over into 2021. And that's how I ended up with Dr. Went in the first place. And then this like crazy ear infection showed up, and man, I'm glad I had her in my toolbox.
So that's interesting that you say that. And if people don't know you've undergone some fairly drastic changes, just kind of to lifestyle and stuff in 2020.
I sure have.
So you picked a doozy of a year to just change yourself. That's pretty cool.
Everything's in chaos anyway, you know.
Why not? Right.
A little bit more, but I've learned a lot about myself. I also work directly with Becca Kyle, who owns Holistic Obsession, and I went through a ton of testing early on in the summer, and I found out that I don't have celiacs, but I'm extremely sensitive to gluten. And I have a whole other aversion to foods. And man, what a difference to just avoid those things. You know, we've been, this is our 20th episode. I think when we log off, I'm going to go look at our first, because I bet I'll be able to tell a difference just in my face.
I can.
Every single week. I think there's going to be a difference there.
That's pretty cool.
I think
that's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Do you, I know you avoid gluten. Are you 100% off of it, or do you still indulge?
I don't indulge on necessarily on purpose,
okay.
But whenever I'm not feeling so awesome, I've been known to say, oh, I think I got into some gluten. Like, I feel like such a hipster spitting those words. Like, oh, I got into some gluten. Around the holidays, I learned a big lesson that all of your cream of whatever soups have gluten in them. And man, they make me personally really, really sick. But I don't know it until hours after I've eaten like 3 bowls of something amazing.
I was about to say, I don't know that if it's that making you sick, or if it's the fact that you're eating 3 bowls of it, because that's what makes me sick. Because you put a green bean casserole in front of me and it's gone.
I see a line on that.
There's another guilty pleasure.
I
Oh, but
love
Erica
people.
was telling you she found for my niece that's I think she's celiac actually, that she found that recipe for gluten free um, green bean casserole, and it was
No,
good.
yum yum, yum yum.
Yeah, yeah. We may have to do that again because it wasn't all that hard to make the cream of mushroom soup. And isn't that funny? I don't know why in the heck there's gluten in it. Like for thickener? I mean, just
I
cook it
think
longer.
thickening agent for sure. And old Campbell's tried and true. You just need 2 cans of that, 2 cans of green beans, some of those French fried onions, Worcestershire, and a little bit of salt and pepper, and there's your green bean casserole.
That's
And
right.
so
It's
it's just something people have been doing their whole lives. So why
follow
would
us for more recipes, by the way.
yeah? Oh yeah, the weekly drip recipes edition.
So, what is your favorite Christmas eat?
Oh man. Okay. So my favorite thing that my husband makes, so he does like 90% of the cooking. Let me share that with Hollow Dripping Springs. I only cook when I have to. I don't enjoy it. It's not fun for me. If I can cook everything in one pot, I'm going to because I don't like the mess. I just don't like cooking. My husband, on the other hand, it's an experience for him. Like he loves to cook. And that's like his love language is preparing food for people. That is not my love language at all. So my favorite thing that he makes is actually fried turkey. So we got to
Mm-hmm.
have that at Thanksgiving, and we were talking about Christmas. We're usually on the road to visit family, but this year's wonky like everything else. So I'm not sure if we're going to do that. So I think we're going to smoke a prime rib.
Ooh, I did that last year.
So good. I love his smoked prime rib. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Hmm.
So I'm a meat eater, like to the max. I think there's a diet where all you eat is meat. And I'm like, I could probably follow that. I'm not going to, but like I probably could.
I think, yeah, it's called a carnivore diet. I think, I think that really is I mean, because I know keto is, low carb, but I think on keto it's like vegetables and stuff too sometimes. But yeah, I think it's like a carnivore diet or caveman diet or something.
Yeah. I think I could follow it.
Like,
Especially
can you really lose weight on that? Because if so, I mean, the only thing that cavemen didn't have that I love is beer,
mm,
but they had to have had some type of rotten fruit that they got drunk off of. Maybe
meat.
mead.
Yeah, some form of meat, maybe.
I would think so. I
Speaking
would
of
think so.
mead, a couple of weeks ago, I finally tried the cranberry mead out at 12 Fox, and it tasted kind of carbonated cranberry juice esque, and it was really, really good. Giving up gluten for the most part means I've given up a lot of beer.
Yeah. I mean, you can do. Is it Deschutes that has the omission series?
I'm not really sure. And I don't know that I necessarily miss beer. I'm more of a gin person
Oh
anyway.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I do love going to different breweries and distilleries and, checking out what they have. And 12 Fox does a great job because their ciders are all gluten free. And this cranberry mead is gluten free as well. And it was very festive and delicious.
Keto is veggies, good fat, lean meats, and lots of fish. I guess I could do with that.
I always heard there was bacon in keto.
Well, yeah, that's the good fat.
Oh, okay.
I
Got
To
it.
me, bacon fat's good.
I'm
I don't
reading
know.
lean meats and I'm like, I thought there was a lot of bacon.
If there's not, there should be.
Hey, we had a festival in Dripping over the weekend.
We did, and that was going to be my next question because I know that you were there, and I want to hear how Booger did.
But
And I know Shelly was there, even though Shelly spent all of her time at Grawlix, evidently, and not at her station, her Camp Gladiator station. So yeah, what heard it was a pretty good crowd. Christmas on Mercer.
all things considered, yes. So it was on Saturday. Our weather was not super desirable. So there
Yeah.
was some like rain off and on. I typically like to bring Santa to the festival as my gift to the community, but this year that wasn't allowed. So I just set up a photo booth in my old truck and Booger did a great job. The gals over at the rural home, Renee and Lori, styled it for me. So I had it like chock full of vintage antiques, and several people got to snag their Christmas card photo. And man, I'm so grateful for the rural home gals. If you have not been in there, I encourage you to go, because it's going to have like literally everything that you need for like your mom's Christmas presents.
I don't know. I've seen some pretty cool stuff in there that I would like.
Yeah.
So I think there's a chance to find a husband Christmas gift in there too. Just saying. Sorry, I'm making notes for our our after input for all of this. Oh, you got to see Denise?
Yes.
What the hell? That is messed up. Denise, can we go have coffee so that I can see you and that Ashley is not there?
Yeah, can y'all just tell me when that's going to be, and tables over peeking in? Oh, can't see you here.
Yeah, you went on a break, and I'm glad that you spelled break that way, because evidently it was very long. Oh, look, my wife is supposed to be teaching right now. I guess she's off.
Yay! Well, while we have Erica live, you guys went camping. How was camping?
We did go camping. Camping was amazing, and that's kind of what I wanted to chat about, because we do spend a lot of time around here talking about things to go do in terms of places to go spend money. Don't tell Shelly either. That's right. But there's a lot of awesome just get out in nature out here. And so one thing that I didn't talk about last week, I completely forgot to, I think, was the day after Thanksgiving, we went and I did my first hike at Charo Park.
Oh, awesome.
Which, have you been through there?
I have.
Okay. I'd been wanting to go for years and just never went. And finally it was like, hey, it's the day after Thanksgiving. We don't have anything to do. Let's go to Charo. And it was cool. It's a nice little, it's a city park. Like, people don't have city parks like that because it's, I don't know how many acres it is, 80, 100 acres maybe. And it's got, a bunch of nice little trails through there. And it's got the equinox set up with all the stones and showing you where the sun sets different times of the year and stuff like that. Really cool place. Was happy we went there. And then this weekend we were out at Inks Lake, which a lot of people don't know where Inks Lake is. I've gotten that question a lot since I've been back. Inks Lake is basically between Marble Falls and Burnet. If you know where Kingsland is, it's right there, just north of Kingsland. And for camping, and whether it's RV camping, they have some cabins there that you can stay in. Now, they're really basic cabins. I think they might have a microwave in them, but I don't think they've got a microwave either. I think it's just a couple of beds, and they're right there on the water. Or you can do what we did, which was tent camp when it was, 29 or 30 degrees Friday night, because that was amazing. But it really was grass off, getting a log on the Xbox Live. Dude, go back to work. Anyway, Inks Lake State Park is right there along Inks Lake. Most of the area of the park is shut off to motorboat traffic, so the water's calm. You can swim. Obviously, we didn't swim, but fish, kayak, inner tube, all of that stuff. And within about an hour and 15 minutes of Dripping Springs.
Yep.
I mean, just a quick jaunt. Really clean park. It's got hiking trail. I don't know. They've probably got 10 or 15 miles of trails out there, so it's not a huge hiking place, but enough room to get out and get the dog out and all of that. And yeah, we've got some beautiful natural stuff to do within an hour of Dripping Springs.
Definitely. So, where I grew up. So that park was right in my backyard.
Yep.
And the thing to do in high school was to sneak in and go jump off the cliffs at
Devil's Hole.
Back through there. So that's definitely my old stomping ground. With COVID, a lot of places have booked up reservation wise. So it might also be worthwhile if you're looking to go within a stone's throw of the area for like camping or exploring. LCRA's chain of parks are pretty phenomenal as well. Yeah. You have like, my favorite is Muleshoe Bend out in Spicewood. If weather conditions are right, in the spring, the bluebonnets are pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's all based on the level of Lake Travis on what happens out there, but it's gorgeous. Black Rock Park, which is on one of the Highland Lakes over in the Lake Buchanan area.
I've never been to Black Rock.
It's a really nice one as well. They also have little cabins with like, it's like a bunkhouse. It's like cabins with a couple of bunk beds in it. And, you know, it's covered shelter. It's glamping, not super fancy.
I mean, that's what we do. It's glamping. It really is. I mean, we are intense, but you know.
Yeah. My favorite resort, though, in the area I grew up in is Canyon of the Eagles. That was one of my first jobs in high school. I worked out there for a few years, and they have like the range of gamut. Like you have RV parking, camping, really nice cabins. There's a pool. It's right there on the lake. The Vanishing Texas River Cruise can take you upriver. It's called Canyon of the Eagles because the eagles are there November through March. So you can actually
bald eagles.
Yeah. Bald eagles. Like, so that's pretty cool too. And when the water is up, we haven't had rain in forever, so I don't know if they're running, but there's some private, like on private property, like waterfalls coming off of the sides of the cliffs out there into the lake. And it's just, it doesn't feel like Texas up there.
Yeah. It's its own little world. One of the so people may not know especially if you're new to the area, but if you are into the hiking and camping and things like that, Texas State Parks has a pass that'll get you into any state park for a year. I think it's the year, like it ends a year plus however many days it takes to get you to the 31st or 30th day of that month that you bought it in. And I want to say it's $80 or $90. It's not expensive for a year pass.
100, like a flat 100.
It may have gone up to 100. Erica renewed it this year, so I don't remember what it was. And LCRA, I just found out they've got a pass that's good for a year. Mm-hmm. Theirs is a little more expensive because I think it gets you access to the LCRA boat ramps in the lakes. But I think that one's like $180 for the LCRA parks. So, I mean,
and if you're a boater wanting that access, like, oh, that's so worth the money.
Yeah, it is. And the cool thing is you can go try a bunch of different parks to find out which ones are busy, which ones aren't, which ones are in busy parts of the lake or, depending on what you want to do. So yeah, it's the parks passes around here are pretty good. We've got access to a lot of cool stuff.
We do.
Hey, is Jacob's Well, is that a state park or is that county?
I thought it was a county park.
Okay.
Maybe somebody watching can chime in. I have to tell myself I've never been out there.
I've been there. I've never gone to Jacob's Well, which is weird. That's odd. I don't know why.
I've never gotten in the water. Our family will go to Blue Hole, right there in the middle of Wimberley. That's like our spot that I think of, but I think Jacob's Well is functioning similar to Hamilton Pool, where you have to have a reservation to go. So I feel like it's going to be crowded, so plan ahead.
Yeah, definitely. The other thing, and you mentioned it a while ago, but we were laughing about it, so I don't know if anybody heard, at Inks Lake, the swimming hole there is called, I call it Devil's Hole, but you said it was Devil's, what did you say?
I call it Cliff, but Devil's Hole, I think, is actually right.
Okay.
And then in college, like the drive between San Marcos and 281, like you have to go down the Devil's Backbone.
Devil's Backbone.
What were all these devil references for? What went to these places where they needed that name?
I'm not sure. That's a good question. We need to get into the history.
I will look into that and I will report back. That's what this platform is for.
That's right. But Devil's Hole is an awesome swimming hole. You can jump off of boulders, although they don't recommend it because of rocks and all this other stuff. But it's a really deep hole. You can swim. The water's cool because all the Highland lakes stay pretty cold year round. Clear water, just a really, and you have to kind of hike there a little bit, maybe like a quarter of a mile or something. It's not far, but it's a little bit of a hike in, but you can kind of swim across to the other side, climb up the rocks to the other side. Really, really sweet little natural swimming hole out here. Again, an hour and 15 minutes from Dripping Springs. So,
yes.
Oh, Shelly is following up for us. $70 individual at a person. 20. What? Is that for the state parks pass?
On the pass, but they have to hold the same address. I'm
trying to think. Maybe that's what we did. Okay, has to be. Oh, that way we can both use it. I get it. Okay, so there you go. That's for the state parks pass. Yeah, thanks, Shelly. Appreciate it.
All right, Chris. What else do we have on our agenda for today?
We're 5 minutes over. I forgot. Sorry, got carried away. Oh, what do we have on our agenda to wrap up? I will talk about my shirt because I don't know if I talked about it before. Guys, Revolution Spirits is first and foremost, it's a gin distillery. They make, have I told the story about how I was going around for the Dripping with Taste trail?
Yes.
Trying to find gin that I liked.
I'm not a gin guy, which
I'm not a gin guy.
What? This doesn't make sense. I don't get it.
I'm just not, but I will drink and I will very much enjoy Revolution Spirits because their gin is a little more rosemary and a little less on the juniper, which the juniper is kind of what drives me up the wall with gin. It's a little too overpowering for me. But anyway, Revolution Spirits has the gin that I go to. There's a state parks pass, by the way. Shelly, see, we have a production team. We did 20 episodes in, we've got a production team.
It's all a volunteer gig, though, you guys.
Yeah, it doesn't pay well. But the friendships are great, so yes. That's it. But anyway, Revolution Spirits, it's a small place. They do make some other drinks. First of all, their drinks are phenomenal. They're actual mixed drinks. I always get a Paloma. My wife always gets a hibiscus something tea thing. I don't know exactly what it is, but anyway, their drinks are awesome, but they make other distillates also. How you like that big word? Distillates. They have a cafecito, which is a coffee-based liqueur, and it's not like Bailey's where it's real creamy and heavy. It's really light, and it's a great coffee liqueur. They use Cuvée Coffee out of Austin is their coffee provider. And then they also make an Amaro and a couple of other more bitter alcohol drinks that people like. I don't necessarily drink them. But anyway, they're here off of Fitzhugh Road on Paul's Valley over by Last Stand Brewing Company. And just really cool people to hang out with. And they actually, for Christmas, they have gift sets. So if you know somebody that likes gin, they've got gift sets with gin and, some little mixers and things like that kind of come in this little box thing. What?
Do you know anybody that likes gin? Do you know anyone?
Oh, I'm going to have to think about that for a second. Who likes gin? Okay. That'll be on my mind. But that's it. That's the shirt today. Revolution Spirits. Go get yourself a drink or a bottle of gin.
So today we covered voodoo, outdoor activities, and gift sets.
That's a pretty good day. That's how you round up.
Man.
It is. What is today? Today's the 7th. Oh, we still have 2 of these left before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So obviously we've established that you like gin, and that should be your Christmas gift.
Anything from the rural home, having needles poked into my body. That's probably my favorite of all the things. It's my favorite thing right now.
When I see you, I'm going to start carrying around a needle and just jab
all the
you.
needles or the whiskers.
All the whiskers. All right, guys, we're rambling on at this point, so we are going to cut it off. Thanks for joining us again. I'm going to play Xbox Live. I don't even know what that is, Nick. I get Xbox. I know what Xbox is. I have to have this so it doesn't echo. See, this is the first episode you've watched out of 20. So now you
know he's a new listener.
That's right. Everybody else knows why I have the air traffic control headset. So there you go. Oh, and it is Pearl Harbor Day. Thank you, Shelley. Kind of a sober reminder that we live in a pretty jacked up world. So yep, definitely keep that top of mind.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's it. If y'all have got questions about Dripping Springs, reach out to Ashley or myself. I was falling behind on it. There are our numbers. But you know how to get a hold of us on Facebook and everything else. Or if you see us at HEB or whatever, it's kind of hard to recognize us with the masks though. So yeah, reach out to us on social media if you got any questions, want us to cover anything. If you want us to cover your store, I'd love to, especially some of the new stores. I need to go by and see what's going on. And if you've got a grand opening coming up, Jessica Ballum, if you're watching, let us know so we can give y'all a shout out. But that is it.
Yes. Juniper Market just opened right by Mazama's this the past couple of weeks. Indigo actually has their chamber ribbon cutting on Friday at 11:30.
Cool.
And I need to chime into my chamber newsletter to get more updates on that.
That's right.
Like what I remember, like, oh yeah, that's going on right now.
I forgot about that. Good call. Yeah, I should probably read the chamber newsletter before we come on.
Stop telling on us, dude.
I know. All right, guys, we'll see y'all next Monday. Have a great week.
Toodaloo.